or some of these other gods. No, it was Hades. Hades was the good one. The fucking god of the underworld was the nice one. You wanna know the one bad thing he kinda did, depending on the depiction? He kidnapped Demeter's daughter. Okay? In some depictions, he literally is Stockholm syndromed his wife or his lover. In some depictions, Aphrodite made him fall in love with her. In other depictions, they fell in love, but Demeter did not want them to fall in love, so they agreed on a deal that, you know, only half the seasons she's with her husband, the other half she's with her mother. It just, again, it depends on the depiction. So whenever Hades does show up, though, in most stories, he's always depicted as like this evil asshole, and he's like, nope. Hades was the good one. Hades is the good one. Like, here's how loyal he is. Persephone, I'm sorry, yeah, Persephone. How many times did Zeus cheat on his wife? He hated his wife, and his wife hated him. Okay? They hated each other. Hera and Zeus did not like each other. Poseidon, he slept with other people. Aphrodite hella slept with other people. Like, so many of the gods did bad shit. You wanna know what Hades did? He's also called sometimes the invisible god, right? Sometimes that's what he was. He was an invisible god. Because he literally had the power to turn himself invisible. He had an invisible cloak. And he would stay in the underworld and not be bothered by anyone. That was his, like, shtick. He never wanted to be bothered by anyone. He was quiet and he was to himself. That is what Hades did. Okay? That's all he did. It's a religious opera, bro. Pretty much. Alright? He was literally invisible. Okay? Didn't want to do shit. He just wanted to be left alone. And, you know, rule the underworld. Okay? Gets a wife. Sometimes kidnaps her. Sometimes didn't. Has a wife. Has some kids. In some cultures. That's why. It's very weird. So. Like, death is sad, but it's also peaceful. It's very strange. And if you think Greeks are weird, let me tell you, because a lot of people think, oh, the Greeks are weird as fuck. No, there's one that's worse. I think, in all honesty, Norse mythology is way worse. Greek mythology is pretty cool, because they had robots. Like, no joke, Hephaestus made robots. That's what's insane about the Greeks when they, you know, they talk about these stories of them, that they created robots. Automated machines. They weren't called machines, they weren't called robots or anything, but they had golems. That's what the Regis are based off of. The Regis from Pokemon are based off Greek mythology, created by Hephaestus. He created, like, lifeless, living beings that, you know, didn't do anything and were tools, but they would move, they would do all this shit. He created them. So, yeah. Spino is way worse to check out. No, though, I think, in all honesty, Norse mythology is way weirder and way worse than anything Greek. Norse mythology is fucking weird. Even Egyptian mythology is a little weird, but it's not that weird. It's nowhere near Norse in my book. And Aztec culture is also kind of strange, but nowhere near Norse. Norse mythology is like horny in a different way. Like, Greeks, horny. Norse, they weren't just horny. They just whatever they could find. See that tree? Fuck that tree. And they mean it physically. They mean it. That's the worst part. They mean it. I have not played the new God of War because obviously it's not on it's not available for me. But I will straight up say this: when I watched Max play it and he got to the end, which was, that game is beautiful. He gets to the end, and when Atreus says a certain line and reveals something, I legit, like, my jaw dropped. I was like, no fucking way. Zoink Scoobs! This is... Zoink Scoobs, this is in Multiverses? What? Whoa, Raggy, you're fighting Pichu! Whoa, Raggy, the rare! I'm really tired of people getting out of my down smash. I'm at 162 because of that shit. Literally hit him 3 times with down smash. He escaped from 2 of them. That's some bullshit. Dude, that up B kills me at 60. If he combos into it properly, he can kill me at 60. Even earlier. I hate Mii fighters. Ow. That's what I get for not paying attention. I like to wait for a second. Oh, and chat, you know what? What's a game I finally finished after years? Like, I got the true ending too. I finally finished Cyberpunk because I watched Edge Runners, and so I was like, I'm gonna play it. I'm finally gonna beat it. And you know what? The ending was not good. Like, if you do the true ending or like the secret ending, it's hype because you get like a Bloodborne 2 concept where it was like it's based in a desert. Dude, 10 out of 10. Like, oh my god, that one was so good. Like, just the design, instead of it being about the ocean, it's like all the creatures are like bird-like. It's like Babylonian almost. It's sick. I loved it. But yeah, I'm hoping we get some sort of... And Sony... I remember Sony posted like a small little Bloodborne teaser. And it's like... Okay, that's very brave of you guys because you know we want Bloodborne 2 or Bloodborne Remake in some way. Like, I don't know why Sony does not want to commission for a new Bloodborne yet. I just don't know. Especially with the peak of Elden Ring. Like, people want it. Elden Ring from FromSoft was really freaking good. I actually really like the lore too of Elden Ring. It's freaking crazy. And we haven't even got an update for that yet. We don't have an update for Elden Ring. No DLC announcement. They're already working on a new game and they haven't even announced a DLC for Elden Ring. That's like easily game of the year too. And here's the crazy part. Because for those of you who don't know about this, in Elden Ring, the lore behind it is that there's no physical ring. It's more of like a concept. It's like the laws of physics. Think of it like the laws of physics, the laws of motion, stuff like that. It's the basic components of everyday life. And what happens is, and it kind of gives you an idea of all the lore of Soul games and explain all of them, is that in Elden Ring, the Ring of Death essentially was stolen. It's gone. That's why no one can die. That's with it. Make a new nightmare. Because I remember for the desert concept, the doll, for example, instead of the doll being very caring and like nurturing, this version of the doll was very like it was like very mischievous and very like, what's the best word I'm looking for? Like, it wasn't afraid to be a smartass, is how they depicted it as. Dude, this Ryu is fucking me up. The fact that Capcom was willing to keep older Ryu with the facial hair was such a good decision. It's one of the best designs for a fighting game character and when Street Fighter V had that DLC costume, or the alternate, it was like, wow, that should have just been his default. It would have made a much more interesting character. Leatherface is good, and then Predator is easily the best one. Not impossible, but fucking hard, chat. Because Ryu literally can kill me with 2 hits. Gonna go for it. Fuck it. I have full rage. But he's dead. Yeah, let's go! We lived, boys! Yeah.